Please buckle up and we will start our today's webinar discussion in a few seconds. Hello, it's me again, your Masters of Ceremony, Dayanara Grez Gallardo, introducing the title of our webinar today, The Innovation to a More Effective Way to Teach Mathematics. But before we finally begin to our discussion, let us take a moment of silence for a soulful prayer.
All that I am, all that I have, I lay them down before you, oh Lord. All my regrets and all my acclaims, the joy and the pain, I'm making them yours. Lord, I offer my life to you. Everything I've been through, use it for your glory. Lord, I offer my days to you, lifting my praise to you as a pleasing sacrifice. Lord, I offer you my life. Things in the past, things yet unseen, wishes and dreams that are yet to come true. All of my heart and all of my praise, my heart and my hands are lifted to you. Lord, I offer my life to you. Everything I've been through, use it for your glory. Lord, I offer my days to you, breathing my praise to you as a pleasing sacrifice. Lord, I offer you my life. What can we give that you have not given? What do we have that is not already yours? All we possess that is not worth living, and that's what we give to you, Lord. Lord, I offer my life to you. Everything I've been through, use it for your glory. Lord, I offer my days to you, lifting my praise to you as a pleasing sacrifice. Lord, I offer you my life. Lord, I offer you my life.
With hearts elated, voices united, let's sing TSU our beloved, to seek and find our destiny. Loyal to thee we'll have to be, within thy portals dear TSU. We'll learn the ways of democracy, the truth which shall set us free from ignorance, want, and tyranny. With skills and knowledge enamored us, with wisdom and love nurture us. The true sense of peace and prosperity, their fruits will ever be. The love and alma mater, dear TSU.
And going back to the momentum, I hope you're all feeling well, alive, and excited as we begin the following presentations. First hand, allow me to guide each and everyone participating in the current event. We have 5 rules here. First, everyone in the forum should be in mute and off cameras, otherwise you are one of the presenter or speaker. Second, if there is a question regarding the topic presented, put it on the comment section and the answers will address it to the presenter or speaker later after the discussion. Third, if there is an urgent concern, just tap the raising hand button and wait until the MC acknowledges you. Fourth, a screenshot for evidence of participation is allowed, but recording or filming the event itself is not. And of course, fifth, we are hoping that everyone will follow the rules. We will give token to someone who is willingly and actively participating in the event. And now we are ready to hear our first speaker for today. May I introduce to everyone Miss Mary Joy L. Galang, LPT. She graduated Bachelor of General Education at Tarlac State University, academic year of 2018 to 2019. Currently working at Tarlac State University as a part-time instructor while taking her master's degree at Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Again, Miss Mary Joy L. Galang.
What a pleasant day to all of us. I'm Mary Joy L. Galang and I'm going to discuss the issues that may encounter in terms of teaching mathematics to students, and also a glimpse of reasons why a lot of students hate mathematics so much. But before I proceed to my discussion, I'd like to thank to all of the participants in this event, especially to our Master of Ceremony, Miss Dayanara Grace Gallardo. I'm glad at the same time honored for inviting me to be one of your event's speaker. Without further ado, let me discuss my point. We knew that the most of the students does not like mathematics at all, and this non-interest of them can lead to their struggles. Have you observed why? Here are some of reasons why students hate mathematics according to Bright Maths. First, lack of stimulation. Students always love things that stimulate them, which are fun and exciting to do. A lot of students, however, do not feel the same way about mathematics, as they see mathematics is boring and stressful. This makes them avoid mathematics at every cost, and this is real issues that we encounter today. Next, student-teacher relationship. Teachers' load of math are sometimes negative, to the point it led to strained relationship with their students. This may be because of the strict nature of the teacher. The student make them hate the teacher or professor sometimes. The hate of the student to the teacher can actually affect the subject handled by that teacher. Admit it that we experience this too. Another reason, Student self-expectation. Some students are pissed off with the fact that they have never really passed mathematics, probably due to the fact that they barely passed maths. While continually failing, it have made them conclude that they can't excel in mathematics. Next reason is overkill drill. One of the most boring things to do is doing the same thing over and over again without actually getting better to it. Most of the time, this is the case we have on math class. Teachers spend very long time teaching the same topic, and the student could become disinterested that leads to dislike the subject itself. Next, social stigma and isolation. It is bad enough for a person to feel hopeless due to his inability to meet up with his or her peers in a particular activity including math exams and tests. This is, however, worsened when such ineffectiveness are emphasized by the peers through teasing a joke. This could make such a student hate mathematics. Next, incomplete instruction. When the teachers do not fully instructed the student on what is supposed to done or what is supposed to know about a topic in mathematics, a student may be unattended to the subject. Next, some anxiety. When a student attempts to solve math problem but keep getting it wrong, the student could get frustrated and end up hating the subject. Next is curricular isolation. A student often desires to know the importance and practical application of everything they are being taught in school. When they cannot get to know the importance and practical application of math topic and they have to learn it all the same time, they may get unattached to the lesson or worse, absent-minded. Next, obscure vocabulary. Mathematics has a lot of terms that are not familiar to a student, especially when they heard it for the first time. Vocabulary is vital in teaching math to communicate and express well to knowledge you are feeding them. So poor vocabulary is almost equivalent to poor teaching skills. Next is teacher's assumption. There are cases where mathematics students have to complain the reason they hate mathematics is due to the fact that the teachers did not give them a math crash course. The teacher, on the other hand, taught them in the subject as if they must have to know it already well. Many of them conclude by saying that if they already know it, they will not need to be in the school in the first place. Another is first experience. Some individual first experience with math was a disaster. Probably they disliked their first math teacher. The first class led to a serious embarrassment on their part, or they were in the first math class for failing to solve math problem. From the point, the reason of math hatred may be are from a trauma in their young heart and it never left. Another is teacher's competence. Some teachers, without mincing word, can be referred to as bad teacher, while some do not have an adequate knowledge of the subject to be able to teach it. There are others who probably finished first class in a course, but lack of passion and ability to impact knowledge. Next is negative attitude of the students. There are some students who have developed a negative attitude toward learning as a whole or toward mathematics as a subject. They are not interested in a course, see it as a burden, and can thus never love the course. Second to the last is congested classes. English for English-speaking countries and mathematics classes are often one of the most congested classes in many schools due to the fact they are compulsory for all students. The congestion with the resulting discomfort has made some students to develop hatred for the subject. Last is lack of teaching materials. The lack of teaching materials for mathematics such as shape, textbooks, abacus, and other materials needed for learning mathematics have made some students to redirect their focus and attention to other instead of learning math while full resources. That's my discussion all about. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Mary Joy Galang, for introducing the issues that we need to know in terms of teaching mathematics to students. Regarding that, we knew almost all of the students in secondary level struggles in math. And that actually makes them hate this subject. Really? Yes. Somehow. But, Miss Mary Joy, there's a question for you raised by Miss Beatriz Salas. The question says, are we, teachers, capable enough to overcome the said issues? How?
Yes, thank you for that question. Well, actually, yes. Somehow, some of the issues are small enough to solve for a teacher, like the student and teacher relationship, the teacher competence, teacher assumption, and more. But some of the bigger issues like curriculum-based problem are not issues that we need to overcome as a teacher, but rather is to improve. For example, is the curricular isolation and lack of teaching materials. We can't overcome, but we can improve. We can't avoid it or supplement it by innovation or strategies in teaching. The most efficient and effective way we can. That's why we are here at the forum.
Thank you, Miss Mary Joy, for answering Miss Beatriz's question. And I hope that it made everyone clarified and inspired. And for a moment, let's take a short break before hearing our next speaker. Here is my co-MC, Miss Andrea Tañedo, for an icebreaker challenge.
So let's start. Again, I'm Andrea Tañedo, the presenter for our icebreaker today, and this is the part 1 of our game. And our game is entitled Gibberish Game. So for this game, those participants need to guess what is the right word or words of the given gibberish words. So here are the mechanics. First, if you want to guess, type in the comment box mine plus code. For example, mine cutie. Wait for the game master to acknowledge you before you unmute your mic and tell the answer. Third, answer within 5 seconds. And fourth, the one who has the most number of points by the end of the game is the winner. So, the prize of the winner will be in 4 digits number worth of load. But there's a twist, and we will find out after the game. So, I'm inviting all the participants to join in our game. So, try this first. This is not counted because we will just try this first before we begin our game. So let us guess what it is. The word apple, lion, and juice. So for this gibberish word, the answer is Apollonius. So since you have one idea now how to play this game, let's begin. These words that flash in your screen, try to guess what word or words is this. Type in the comment section, mine SKL.
Yes, and our first participator is a girl, and it's named Shanice Navidad.
Okay, Miss Shanice Navidad. So please unmute your mic and tell us your answer.
Cartesian plane.
So let's see if your answer is correct. So the answer is Cartesian plane. So congrats, Miss. What's your name again?
Shanice Navidad.
Okay, congrats, Shanice Navidad. You got 1 point. So let's proceed to the next level. So for this type mine NGL.
Okay, we have our first participant here from Miss Mary Joy Salas.
Okay, Miss Mary Joy Salas, please unmute your mic.
Conic section.
Okay, let's see if your answer is correct. So the answer is conic section. So Miss Mary Joy Salas, you also got 1 point. So next is the word thunder and line. So for this level, type mine SKRRT.
Haba. Skirt.
Correct.
Waiting for our first response. Sino kaya makakauna? Wala, tagal na mag-type. Hindi nakuha yung
Is it
code.
hard, guys?
Hindi nakuha yung code. Ayun, nakuha ulit ni Miss Mary Joy Salas.
Okay, Miss Mary Joy Salas, please unmute your mic.
Tangent line.
Okay, correct. The answer is tangent line. So, you got 2 points. So, for the last level, we have the words pray, bowl, and lay. So, for this, type mine BTW.
Mine BTW. Mine BTW.
Mine BTW.
BTW, Ate Geraldine. Mine BTW.
B as in boy.
Ah, ano na naman si Miss Mary Joy Salas? Mukhang inspired to ah. Kabilis niya mag-type oh.
Okay,
Mine.
Miss Mary Joy. Is it Miss Mary Joy?
Parabola.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's see if the answer is parabola. So, correct, Miss Mary Joy. You got another 1 point. So, you have accumulated 3 points. So, now, since we passed and finished all the levels, I will announce the winner for this game. So, the winner is Miss Mary Joy Salas. Woohoo! Congrats to you, and your prize will be revealed now. And it is worth 1,000 of load. And the twist here is 1,000 has a square root. So, you won 100 pesos worth of load.
Kala ko ikidrot mo.
And thank you for that very, very energetic and full of suspense icebreaker, Miss Andrea Tañedo. And now we're ready to move on to our next presenter, introducing Miss Regine Mayside, LPT. a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Math at Tarlac State University, academic year 2019 to 2020. She passed the licensure exam last March of this year and is currently a math teacher at Villa Aglipay National High School. Once again, Miss Regine May C. Day.
Thank you, Miss Grace. Hello, everyone. I am Regine May Day, and I want to thank everyone for joining us here today. And I am so glad to be part of this event. And I am so excited to share with you the innovation that we have discovered. I know that you are all excited to know this innovation that can help you as a teacher to teach mathematics effectively. So let's get started. So let's start the presentation. As a math teacher, we all know that teaching the students to love math or getting the attention of the students while teaching mathematics is one of the challenging things for us math teachers. We all know that math is the most challenging subject for the students. That is why they hate math. Most of the students, if they hear the word math, most of them were not happy or excited. Or sometimes, if it's already time for math subject, most of the students will feel sleepy, or sometimes you can see them getting bored while you were discussing a math lesson. Because for them, math is really hard and math is a really complicated subject. But students didn't know that math is really amazing and math is everywhere. Do you all agree that math is really amazing? Because as a math teacher, I agree that math is really amazing subject. We as a math teacher, one of our goals is to make them realize that math is really amazing, that they can enjoy math in different ways. And as a math teacher, one of our goals is to make them realize that math is really amazing, that math is not that complicated, that they can enjoy math in different ways. So how can we achieve that goal? What do you think is the best way to make them enjoy mathematics while learning? We observe as a math teacher that one of the best way to get the attention of the students while teaching mathematics and one of the best way to make them realize that mathematics is really amazing subject is through interactive games. So that is what I am going to share with you today. Through games, we may be able to get the full attention of the students. This game that I am going to share with you is entitled Math Battle. I know that you don't have any idea what this math battle is. So what is this game all about? So let's start. First, this game is all about remembering the lessons that students learned after all the discussion. As a teacher, we want to test if the students really learned from what we have discussed. And the traditional way of assessing the students' knowledge is through quizzes or sometimes through written exam. But students find it boring. To make it fun while learning mathematics, Math Battle is the best activity or game to test students because they are not just reviewing the lesson, but they are also enjoying the game. Students will need to think a pickup line that is related to one lesson or one term we use in math. So, do you know what pickup line is? I know everyone is familiar with this pickup line. We use pickup line to make someone smile and laugh. Sometimes we use it with our crush, with our friends. So here is an example of pickup line. So as you can see, the boy asks the girl, "Araw ka ba?" And then the girl responds, "Bakit?" And then the boy said, "Kasi ikaw ang nagbibigay ng liwanag sa buhay ko." Admit it or not, this make you happy or smile. So that is one of the example of pickup lines. I know boys are really familiar with this pickup line because sometimes they use it to court someone they love. Most of the famous pickup lines is all about or it is related to love. But this time, we will use it in mathematics. This game will test the students' creativity and at the same time, their knowledge about math. Because here in this game, students will be competing on making pickup line. Students need to think creatively by making a pickup line using mathematics. Before, we used the pickup line to court someone or to make someone laugh, but this time, we will use it to test the students' knowledge about one topic in mathematics. So here is the mechanics of the game. First, the class will be divided into two groups. For example, we have 36 students, and each group will have 18 members. Each member in the group will pick a number from the box, and whoever picked the same number from the other group will be your opponent. Of course, the two students who pick number 1 will be the first player of the first round. Next is, there is a box that contains paper inside. Topics or terms we use in math are written on the paper. The teacher will pick one paper and the topic that was written on the paper will be the topic of the two students. For example, the topic that was written on the paper is all about algebra. So the two students will need to make a pickup line that is related to algebra. After the teacher picked the topic, students will given 5 minutes to create a pickup line about the definition or some terms about algebra. Since this is a group game, they can also talk to their groupmates to ask for help or to ask for any idea about the topic. Then after 5 minutes, students will take turns speaking and giving their pickup lines. So after 5 minutes of creating or making a pickup line about the topic, students will take turns speaking and giving their pickup lines. The teacher will be the judge of this game, and the two players should meet the criteria given by the teacher. Then lastly, the group that gets the highest scores wins. The teacher will decide about their prize. The teacher can give them extra points on the next quiz, or sometimes teacher will give them foods or chocolates as their prize. To make the instruction clear, here is a video presentation about the game. So let's watch it.
This is Math Battle. Let's try to play. So the class will be divided into two teams, Team 1 and Team 2, and each member will pick one number. Since Mary Joy picked number 1, her opponent will be Grez. For round 1, we have Mary Joy versus Grez, and their topic will be parallel and tangent lines. They will be given 5 minutes to create a pickup lines about parallel and tangent lines. After 5 minutes, Mary Joy will present her pickup line. And then after Mary Joy, Grez will also present her pickup line. And then the teacher will decide who will be the winner. And for this round, the winner is Mary Joy. For the second round, we have Andrea versus Lancet, and their topic will be angles. They will be given 5 minutes to create a pickup lines about angles. And then after 5 minutes, Lancet will present his pickup line. And then after Lancet, Andrea will also present her pickup line. And for this round, the winner will be Andrea. For the last round, we have Regine versus Geraldine, and their topic will be algebra. They will be given 5 minutes to think a pickup line about algebra. After 5 minutes, Regine will present her pickup line. And then after Regine, Geraldine will present her pickup line also. And for this round, the winner will be Regine. Therefore, Team 1 got 2 points, while Team 2 got 1 point only. So the winner will be Team 1. So that's how you play Math Battle.
So that's how we play the game Math Battle. If you notice, it is like debate or rap battle. So, this game, I will assure you that this game will be an effective game to teach students mathematics. Later on, one of the guest speaker will discuss the goals of this game. To summarize it all, one way to get the attention of the students and one way to make them enjoy and while learning mathematics is through interactive games. And one of the effective games that you can use in teaching mathematics is this math battle. So I hope that you will use it in teaching mathematics, and I hope that it will help you to make students love mathematics and to make them realize that mathematics is really amazing. To formally end this discussion, let me read this quotation that I found online. Life is like a mathematics. Add on friends, subtract sorrow, multiply memories, divide your duties, square on happiness, eliminate ego, finally, a perfect and wonderful solution. So that's end my presentation for today. Thank you for listening. Again, I am Regine May Culiarade, LPT, and God bless everyone. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Jane Day, for a wonderful, clear, and innovative idea on how to effectively teach math to the secondary students. Well, for me, games like that is a real catch to the student attention, isn't it? Especially to their blooming love career if there is. I think that is a real life situation though. Well, I hope that I'm not the only one hopeless here. Okay, now we would like to entertain a question from a participant, from Mr. Caleb Fabregas. Addresses to Miss Regine. The question is, aside from the pickup lines, what other format of form of game, can we implement or innovate to the students?
Thank you, Ms. Grace. To answer that question, there are actually a lot of interactive games that we can use in teaching mathematics. To give you an example, we have Bingo. Bingo is one of the famous games here in the Philippines, and we can use it in mathematics. To give you a short mechanics of the game, there are 25 correct answers on the board, and each student will choose 10 correct answers from that 25 answers, and then the teacher will give them questions. Now, the students who got the first 10 correct answer will win the game. And that's how you play the bingo in mathematics. And as a teacher, you just need to be creative in making twists or mechanics of the game for it to be more effective and more fun.
Thank you, Mr. Jane Day, for answering Mr. Caleb's question. And thank you also for having us today. And now we're calling up brainy participant for another Icebreaker Challenge. Here is Miss Andrea Tañedo.
Hello guys, I'm here again and again, and our icebreaker part 2. Are you ready, guys?
Yes, we're ready.
I will share my screen again. So for our second ice break, I know we are familiar in this game, so the title of our part 2 is Fact or Luck. So for this game, are the mechanics on how to play this game. First, if you want to answer, just raise your hands. Second, the first participant who raised his or her hand will eligible to answer. Third, wait for the game master to acknowledge you before you unmute your mic and tell the answer. Fourth, answer within 5 seconds. And last, the one who has the most number of points by the end of the game is the winner. So let's begin the game. So for our first level, 2 pi over 3 is equal to 120 degrees. Is it fact or bluff? By the way, Miss Grace, can you call kung sino yung
Yes.
yung mag-raise ng hands? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Back to the game. 2 pi over 3 is equal to 120 degree. Is it fact or a bluff?
Pipili lang ako dyan, di ba? Fact or bluff?
Yes.
Yes.
Ulaan ko na lang. Okay. Yung fact siguro.
Fact.
Okay.
So, let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Lancen de Guzman is correct. So, you got 1 point. So, next. 120 degree is located in quadrant 3. Is it a fact or a bluff?
Mary Joy Salas. Mary Joy Galang na ba yan? Mary Joy Galang raised her hand.
So, Miss Mary Joy Galang, what is your answer?
Love.
Bluff. So, bluff is correct. So, you got 1 point. So, it is bluff because 120 degree is located in quadrant 2.
Yes.
So, next is 100 degree is located in quadrant 3. Is it a fact or a bluff?
Miss Regine Mayday.
Bluff.
Bluff daw.
Bluff. Now, let's see. Okay, correct. So 100 degree is not located in quadrant 3 because it is located in quadrant number 2.
Okay. Tigo 1 point na sila. Si Ate Gerald, di pa natin naririnig
Oh, walang next button. Hindi ko nalagyan. So next is, so for our last level, we have sine theta is equal to 1 over cos secant theta. Is it a fact or a bluff?
Miss Mary Joy Galang ulit.
So, Miss Mary Joy, what is your answer?
Hello, di ba ko rinig? Fact yung sagot ko.
Fact. So, let's see if fact nga ba. So, correct.
Wow.
Fact. So, you got 3 points.
Next naman. Nanalo na siya ng 2 rounds.
Yun na yung last level. So, yung prize mo is surprise. So, i-DM mo na lang ako and then sasabihin ko after ng webinar yung prize mo. Thank you. So, Miss Grace, back to you.
Is everyone still there? Let's move on to our next presenter, Mr. Lancen de Guzman, LPT. Also a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Math at Turlock State University, academic year 2015 to 2016. He is a top notcher of 2017 LET licensure exam, and he is currently teaching at Turlock State University as a professor and as a research advisor. Once again, Mr. Lancen de Guzman.
Thank you, Ms. Dress. Again, I am Lancen de Guzman, and we will talk about the goals of this game or this innovation. So, before I proceed to the discussion, I want to ask a simple question. In everything you do, what comes to your mind? Why are you doing it? Is it just because of your trip? Or maybe you just want it? Or maybe you're doing it because you want a change? Or do you want something new? Or you are expecting for the desired result? So in this discussion, we will talk about the goals and why we came up with this innovation. So the first one is to make the students enjoy while learning. So why is it important to have fun while learning? As a scientific fact, if learning isn't fun, it won't be effective. And yes, it's true because if the students enjoy the lessons, the more they will learn. You can see the excitement and willingness because while learning, they are having fun. And this is the purpose of this game or innovation, especially in the subject of math. It's very complicated, right? There are so many definitions, concepts, or even formulas that need to be memorized and applied. So sometimes there's a point where the students no longer wants to study the subject of math because they think it's difficult and they will just get bored. So to break that practice, why don't we make something new? Why don't we add an extra flavor to the word learning and make it fun while learning? It's said that when you enjoy what you are doing, you are not suffering. Just like at work, when you enjoy your work, you are passionate, you are excited, and you are not lazy in what you are doing because in the first place, you love and you enjoy what you are doing. And that's what we want in this game. We want the students to have fun while learning. So at some point, they will think that studying math is not boring as they think before. And that's the essence of this goal, to make the students enjoy while learning. The second goal is to assess the student's knowledge. So of course, to make sure that a student understands the lesson, you need to assess the student's knowledge. So in what way? In terms of quiz? Is it work? Giving assignments? Or a recitation? Those methods are common and traditional. So why don't we try something new? Because when it's said as a quiz or recitation, on the part of the student, there is pressure that what if I fail the quiz or what if I don't know what the answer in the recitation. So to change such views, why we don't make something new? Why don't we conduct the assessment through games? So at the same time, they are enjoying it and most importantly, we are able to assess the students' knowledge without giving them that much pressure. And that's the goal of this game, is to assess the students' knowledge. And the third goal is to help the students retain lessons to their memories. So of course, in order to retain the lessons in the memories, the student must be able to apply them. And this game is the best area for the application. The more you apply, the more you apply something, the more you remember it compared to what you just memorize. So with this game, an application will happen and at the same time, the students enjoy and they don't notice that the information is retained because through games, the process is enjoyable and memorable. And the fourth goal is to help the students how to be creative. They say that one of the hardest things to teach is creativity because every student is unique and they have a different perspective. So through this game, a student's creativity will be enhanced because they need to think of scenarios or objects or anything that they can relate to the lesson itself. And that's a part of creativity. The game teaches them to think out of the box. And the fourth goal of this innovation, and that's the fourth goal of this innovation, to help students how to be creative. And the last goal is to help students improve their teamwork. We have saying that no man is an island, and yes, it's true. You know something I know, you know something I don't know, I know something you don't know. In short, there's no perfect student. No student knows everything. And in all aspects of life, connection is very important. So it must be built up in the mind of a student that they need to work together as a team. It's better if they open up to each other, they are sharing information, strategies, or even techniques because at the end of the day, two or more are always better than one. And this game is the best practice and perfectly fits to be their team building exercise. And that's the goal of this game. And I want to end this discussion with the quotation of focus on the goals, not the obstacles. Again, I am Lansan Guzman. Thank you for listening.
What a competitive call we had there with Mr. Lancen de Guzman. Thank you for inspiring everyone for this presentation, sir. And there were questions raised from the participant from Miss Shanice Garavillas. She was asking if, are these goals are attainable and time relevant?
Thank you for the question. The possible flaws of this innovation is it's highly time consuming because it really requires time to implement this innovation.
Right! That's a bright and reasonable answer. What's a mindful response you had from Mr. Lancen de Guzman? Thank you for a very interactive response, sir. We are hoping to hear from you again soon. Now we have one presenter remaining. Please welcome Engineer Geraldine Molina, LPT. She is a graduate of Bachelor's degree in Computer Engineering at Holy Angel University, academic year 2010 to 2011. She took her units at Tarlac State University and graduated Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Math, year 2018. Please welcome Mrs. Geraldine Molina.
Thank you, Miss Grace, and good day to you, and of course, good day, everyone. For this innovation of teaching mathematics that Mom Jade introduced to us, let's find out what benefits and hindrances that we are going to encounter at this innovation, this math battle strategy of teaching. What do you want to hear first? Advantages or disadvantages? I think we should start with the disadvantages. Why? So that if we discuss the advantages at last part, it will be the one that remain in our minds and it will motivate us to execute or apply this method in our teaching, especially in mathematics. I know some of you have already questioned on this innovation and some of you have a lot of what if. Okay, for that, I am going to discuss now those hindrances or disadvantages. For the first one, this math battle is time consuming. As we knew, in every game, especially if it's a group activity or games, we give an extra time for this to execute it very well, to participate every member. And also, even though we, the teacher, give an allotted time for this math battle or any type of game, some of our students will request another round for a chance to win the game, especially when they feel that they can win it. Now let's proceed to the second one. Number 2, student embarrassment. We know that not all students are quick thinkers, not so smart to get in the flow of the game. And if your pick-up line is wale or not catchy or not so related on it, maybe you will receive a boo. Or sometimes it leads to feel embarrassment on them. And for those students that are shy type or those introvert, they may feel of being an outcast. And it may lead to some of our students to have a low self-esteem. And that's the second one, student embarrassment. Now, for the last one, number 3, this math battle may be turned into real battle. I know some of you already watched or view a rap battle, a pick-up line with a rhyme. For me, as I watched some of it, sometimes I felt angry, like I am going to roar like a lion, especially when the words is so offensive. For this, we can guarantee that all of our students is calmly and open-minded. And of course, it may also disrupt other classes. For some of them will go hype and make a noisy environment. For the first one, to maximize the time, first, let's encourage our students to do an advanced reading so they can prepare for that day. It is better to be ready all the time by having an advanced knowledge. For the second one, before to start the game, give an instructions that the group that make a boo will have a deduction on its gaining points or a loss on that round. And to be ensured that all students will participate, especially those not so socialized person, give an incentive for them. And incentive for the whole group that all members were participating. And for the last one, to not turn it into real battle, let's have a sportsmanship award for all of them and give an incentive for participating actively and lively. And before to start, we need to realize on them that this is only game, and the purpose of this math battle is to enjoy while learning. For additional, always make a clarification for the instruction of the game. Always to remember that offensive word is not allowed, also the green one. Okay, I hope you already have a clarification for some of your what if, as I discuss some of ways to overcome it. Now let's proceed to the advantages of math battle. And that's what we want to emphasize on this webinar, the advantages of having innovation on teaching mathematics. To motivate our students to love and enjoy learning mathematics and not hating it. First one is, it enhances our student teamwork skills. As what we have heard from Sir Lansen, students will enhance their teamwork skills as this game requires a collaboration to win. It needs a brainstorming and sharing knowledge to win it easier. I am not going to make it broader as Sir Lansen discussed it already. Now let's proceed to the second one. Second one, it is a long-term knowledge retention. Why we consider this method of teaching a long-term knowledge retention? As we knew, we can't have a pick-up line for this specific term or word if we don't have broader or enough knowledge of that. On that, we are not encouraging our students to memorize the meaning of the term. Instead, we encourage them to understand it so they can have more pick-up line that they can also use it. Instead, we encourage them to understand it so they can have more pick-up line that can relate on it. And for instances, they can also use it to future references. Talking with sense of humor or cracking or breaking the silent mode conversation. I know someday one or more of your students will use it in the future as their assets. Assets on what? Yes, you can say it. In third, it teaches creativity. It is not only teaches creativity in our students, but of course, teacher will be creative too. In third, it teaches creativity. It is not only teaches creativity in our students, but of course, teacher will be creative too. Sharing knowledge and idea in different ways make us more creative and make us to be critical thinker. And as we're not focused in the reading material, but also thinking outside the box. Making a rhyme pickup line makes us think critically and logically. And of course, being creative. Okay. And being creative make us enjoy our learning. Being creative, more knowledge, more surprises we are going to discover. So that learning mathematics will not bore down to our students. Instead, a fantasy land or a dreamland that have a lots of interesting things to discover and enjoy. I hope with those advantages we encourage you to apply innovation on teaching mathematics. Especially this one, the mathematics bottle. Math bottles. And again, good day everyone. Back to you, Miss Grass.
Thank you, Ma'am Engineer Geraldine, for a detailed presentations. We now understand the possibilities, the advantages and disadvantages we will encounter in terms of implementing this kind of innovation to our teaching career. So before we finally close the ceremony, let me please raise another question from a participant who is also a math teacher. He is Mr. Lucas Gomez, and the question is addressed to Mrs. Geraldine. The question is, if this kind of innovation succeeded to imply to every teacher's strategy, and the issues in teaching mathematics to students are still there, what should be the rightful next step to be made?
Actually, issues and threats are everywhere. There is no perfect. Everything has a flaws. We consider that as our imperfection. Imperfection comes in any form like that. Issues and threats. As I said a while ago, there is no perfect, especially in terms of rules, strategies, methods, and so on. But of course, we can minimize that by doing some revision and planning with collaboration. At least, minimize those issues and threats. That's all. Thank you again for that wonderful question.
Thank you for that very wonderful and a truthful answer, Mrs. Geraldine Molina. Once again, thank you, Miss Marijoy Galang. Thank you, Miss Regine Day. Thank you, Mr. Lanson de Guzman, and thank you, Mrs. Geraldine Molina. Again, your Masters of Ceremony, Dayanara Graz Gallardo, together with Miss Andrea Taniedo, wishing you the best days ahead of the year. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's call it a day. A wonderful, bright, and burning passion for everyone. Good day!